The NFL Combine in Indianapolis is wrapping up. A lot of teams are eyeing former Yellow Jacket Keion White after he impressed at the Senior Bowl. Right now, he's being mentioned as a late first rounder or early second rounder. The last Georgia Tech football player drafted in the first round was Demaryius Thomas in 2010.
Like Calvin Johnson, Bebe, Marco Coleman. There was a D lineman, so maybe 4 or 5.
A total of 42 players have been drafted in the first round out of Georgia Tech in all sports, not just football.
I don't know anybody who's gotten drafted in the first round.
If Yellow Jackets defensive end Keion White
now draft, big push. Nicely done.
Comes off the board in the top 32 in this year's NFL draft, he'd be the 43rd.
It would be like a really dope experience, but at the end of the day, you still have to work after that.
White knows a thing or two about having to work.
Let's go. Let's go.
He went through his entire senior season at Garner High School in North Carolina without a single Division I offer. Old Dominion came in, and that was the only thing they had, right?
So I had a couple smaller D2 offers and everything like that. That came in still January of my senior year, but ODU was the biggest one I had for sure.
White spent his first 3 seasons at Old Dominion, but get this, his first 2 were spent on offense. He was the team's starting tight end when a change was made.
What I find most interesting is the fact that you played tight end and then switched over to defensive end edge. What was that process like for you to go from offense to defense and be as good as you are?
Didn't really have too many receiving yards or anything like that because we had 2,000-yard receivers at the time. Our coaches came to me and said, hey, we want you to play defense. I didn't even realize I was good at defense, though, until probably 2 months after the season ended. And people were telling me, like, oh, yeah, you had a draft grade or you had this amount of tackles. And I didn't know what any of the numbers meant. So I had 19.5 tackles for loss my junior year.
With numbers like that, after only 1 year on defense, colleges around the country were knocking down his door when he decided to transfer. Quite the opposite of what he experienced coming out of high school.
In the portal, within 1 day of being in the portal, I've talked to the majority of the teams in the country. Georgia Tech was like one of the only schools to tell me, like, the first thing they were like, yeah, you're okay, like, you're a good player and everything, but you suck at these things. And so, like, I like that. So I like you telling me what I need to improve better.
That's how the Yellow Jackets scored this 6'5", 280-pound defensive end out of ODU. Tech challenged him, but it wouldn't be the only challenge. An unexpected injury kept him off the field for most of 2021. White broke his ankle while playing basketball during the offseason.
Even now, I still have a plate, 14 screws, and a tightrope in my ankle. And so just going through that rehab process, you had to learn work ethic again and perseverance almost.
When he finally hit the field at Georgia Tech, White didn't disappoint. He posted 7.5 sacks and 11.5 tackles for loss in 2022, his only full season in a Jackets uniform.
Keion White with the sack.
Now, NFL teams can't wait to get their hands on him. And after everything he's been through to get there, there's no reason to believe he won't succeed.
I'm not a big spotlight person, so I'd much rather be the person in the back just doing his own thing in his own world. So all this new fame is just a different feeling for me, for sure.
How are you handling it?
Like, I'm not going to let it get to my head or be arrogant about it. And just take it as it comes and just enjoy the process, bro.
Let's go. Push, 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 push.
And at the NFL Combine, he went through quite a few on-the-field drills, but he didn't run the 40. He'll more than likely wait until Tech's Pro Day to show off his speed. Have a good night.